Everybody talks all that gangster talk until it's time to actually show up and put some gangster shit to work. For this video here, I'm going to be talking about what you should do if a prison riot occurs.
Same time of the week, better be there. Have my people send a message, make sure that they're there. Time for me to collect, bring the shit over here. Cause you can tell them my face, don't make me come over there. I'll run up in your room, put my shank in your neck. Swear to God, I wet you up, better show me respect. I'm hitting licks like nothing, break bread with dogs. Putting on for east side, David, this K-fraud, it's a robbery. Heard what I said, I got some names I won't say. Most of them dead, for that tune you get there's a price on your head. Take the shit out your locker, throw it all on my bed. You got a daughter back you up, I don't care what you click. 2 lockers to fit both y'all shit. See me in the cut jamming, smoking the rip. Getting tighter with the money that your people are sent. See on the streets I would've bust you, but in prison I come cut you.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K-Fraud TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so you can see it first. Want to tell everybody welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time tuning in over here on K-Fraud TV, everything I talk about has to do with jail or prison. Not because I idolize it or I'm happy that I've been there before, but I want people to know what it's truly like if you find yourself locked up and stuck in the system. For this video, we talk about prison riots. I want people to know what to truly expect if you find yourself in direct sight of a prison riot, or if you find yourself locked up in the situation to where you may be part of it. All right. Now, everybody knows no matter where you are, where you're locked up at, every place is different. All right. So all I can do is give y'all my input from the experience of things that I seen take place while I was locked up. All right. I want to tell everyone I hope y'all had a good Easter Sunday that just passed. This was the perfect topic to drop because a few days before Easter when I was locked up, a riot occurred one year. All right. And it was some gang shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'll get into it a little bit. But I want y'all to be prepared if you ever find yourself in these types of situations. All right. Now, first thing I want to talk about when it comes to a prison riot is I want to tell you the certain things that can lead to a prison riot. What can lead to a cause to where a riot actually occurs. All right. Now, as far as when it comes from inmate to inmate, anything can turn into a prison riot. Okay. It could be gang activity. This gang has beef with this gang. This gang owes this gang money. This gang extorted somebody they shouldn't have extorted that was already being extorted by this gang. Kind of intercepted and infiltrated the routes of what this gang's got going on when it comes to getting money in, or, you know, the underground, you know, money system. You never know what it really is. It could be multiple white people want to fight multiple Spanish people. So next thing you know, when the whites pop off on the Spanish, all the Spanish take flight on the whites, and then the blacks take flight too. You know, just certain things can lead to riots when it comes to, you know, inmate on inmate, you know, and it's actually very, very simple what can lead to a riot. Okay, all it takes is a couple knuckleheads to crank an institution up. You know what I'm saying? You could be at an institution for 10 years and it'd be so soft and watered down. There's no problems, there's no fights, there's no stabbings, there's no robbing, there's no extorting, there's none of that, right? But the next thing you know, they do a quick little, you know, shakedown on the pound and rotate a little bit and swap a couple individuals, a couple bus loads from this institution, swap it with another institution and bring a couple knuckleheads over there. Next thing you know, them couple knuckleheads gonna make it to where a couple other people come out that were knuckleheads that just weren't showing it, and before you know it, it just overcrowds with an institution filled with knuckleheads, and before you know it, it could turn into a violent institution. There could be stabbings, people jumping people, extorting, robbing, and all that can occur overnight. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be prepared for these type of situations, and a riot can strike like that. You know what I'm saying? While I was locked up, a couple of the things that led to riots had to do with money. 9 times out of 10, it's going to have somewhat to do with money, okay? And the Bloods was going through it with ZMF while I was locked up. They were going through it about routes. And what I mean by routes is, you know, the institution I was at the time, they had, you know, work squads. They had DOT, which is people that work outside the gate. And outside that gate, you got people that stick shit in their ass and sneak it back inside the institution. Well, a lot of gangs already have their hands in the pot. So if you're someone that lands at that institution, or if you're somebody who wants to make your own money and you think you're going to just, oh, I'll get put on the DOT squad, and the next thing you know, I'll sneak my own shit in or get my own shit snuck in somehow and I'll be straight. It's not going to work like that, because these gangs have their hands in the pot already, and before a riot occurs or a war goes down, they're going to agree on a split, you know, like number. You know, like say out of 100% of something that comes through the gate, one might get 50%, the other might get 50%. If 3 people are in there, then it might be, you know, 25, 25, 25, and then the other 25 goes to the individual that's bringing it in. You know, you never really know how it is, but at the institution I was at, that's what the beef was over. A lot of stuff that was coming in like that through the inmates' asses and stuff like that outside the gate for DOT. A lot of gangs had their hands in the pot. Other people started, trying to get their own routes and make their own ways of bringing it in like that without, paying the tax to those gangs. And then come to find out this gang was taking more off the top than this gang. This gang was secretly getting things snuck in that wasn't like documented with the other gangs, so they were getting all their amount without breaking bread, so it led to a war, and then the war, before you know it, was a riot. Now the difference between a war and a riot is when there's a war, that shit could go on for a couple days. It could just mean this gang and this gang are beefing with each other. Each time they pop the doors and they allow movement on the compound, somebody's gonna go after somebody. This gang's gonna attack this gang, or this gang's gonna attack this gang, and within the next couple days you're gonna realize who's winning, who's losing, who's got more people taking, falls, who's getting more L's, who's getting more wins, who's getting stabbed up more than doing the stabbing, etc. Now, when it's a riot, everybody pops off at the same time, okay? And another type of thing that leads to riots inside a prison, which I don't want to leave this out, is it's not just inmate on inmate. It's inmate and guards as well. A lot of riots occur due to inmates going against guards because the way the guards treat inmates. You know what I'm saying? If you're somebody who, lives, a narrow path, you know what I'm saying, and you walk the line and you believe in people going to prison that deserve to be there, just know I also feel like there's certain people that deserve to be in prison, but not everybody deserves to be in there. And that doesn't give the guards the right to do the stuff that they do and get away with it. You get what I'm saying? Because you think about it. If you break the law, you get sent to prison, right? Them same people that are getting sent to prison, the guards are breaking the law against them. So you're punishing people for breaking the law, but they're breaking the law also while punishing them. See what I'm saying? So you'd have to see it with your own eyes to understand not every inmate is a bad inmate, all right? But a lot of the riots that take place inside a prison are inmates and guards. Inmates get tired of it. They're tired of guards putting their hands on them. Tired of inmates getting extorted, by guards. Tired of guards planting knives on them, putting them in confinement, setting them up, telling. There's so much stuff that goes on that the guards feel like they can get away with. Just look at the 10 things you can get away with in prison and look at the 10 things you can't get away with. The guards can get away with all 20. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it leads to, a riot a lot of times. Inmates against guards. Like if you look in Florida a few years ago, they threw that Muslim inmate inside of a burning shower and they killed him like that inside a Florida prison. And when they did that, it made a stand in multiple prisons. It made it to where riots occurred all around the state of Florida due to that situation. You see what I'm saying? Certain things lead to riots. Okay, now if you're someone that can, dispute the situation, and if you want to try to help prevent a war, my advice to you is just stay out of it. Because if a war is going to strike off, it's going to strike off. You know what I'm saying? But if you can, prevent it, then try to prevent it. Because riots are very dangerous, okay? And if you're someone that ain't going to go all the way with, taking someone's life, then don't even play like that. Because there's people in there that will. You see what I'm saying? You might just be down the fight, but not down the kill. And there's inmates in there that ain't down the fight, but they're down the kill. You see? So you might find yourself in harm's way. So if you can prevent a riot, then of course do it. If you got a couple homeboys that are about to take flight on a different race or a different gang, and it ain't that serious, and they're just doing it, put your 2 cents in with them. Let them know, hey, man, y'all boys, this shit ain't even worth it, man. Holler at them, man, and just tell them you want to head up fade. You feel me? You 3 feel some type of way? Man, line them 3 up, man. Just get that shit over with. Just brrr, and then that's it. Instead of making it go all the way to really what it is. You see what I'm saying? Now, some people, they ain't with that. They don't want to brrr and just, it's over with. Some people want to go with the riot. Some people want to go through with it because they don't want to react themselves. A lot of people won't pop off themselves. So when it's a riot, it's multiple people. Okay? And it's kind of like you can't trust nobody in these type of situations. You see what I'm saying? So if you can prevent it, try to prevent it. All right? You know what I'm saying? Try not to have a riot occur, because I'm going to tell you the best advice that I can give you. If you're somebody who is not living like that and a riot takes off, you better take flight. You better take cover. You might as well just go in your cell. Blam, lock yourself in that cell. Because I'll tell you what happens during riots. Nobody's safe. No matter who the gang is, what race you are, who you rock with, who your friends are, none of that even matters when it comes to a riot. everybody's just turning up, being a knucklehead, you know, trying to attack people, hurt people, stab people, get away with as much as they can. It's like you see in the movie Purge, how they got 24 hours to do whatever they got to do without getting arrested. When a riot occurs, inmates try to do anything. They beat people up, they stab people, they rob people, they kill people, they attack guards, they hurt guards, rape guards, beat up guards, stab guards. They do anything they can until the guards get control of the prison again. You see what I'm saying? So if you're someone who isn't really down to go through with that, then you know you might as well just try to get yourself out of harm's way the best you can. And if it's that big of a riot and the prison, you know, actually gets overran by inmates, even you locking yourself in the cell isn't good. You know, even that isn't well enough, because if the inmates take over the prison, that means they can get a hold of the control room. And if they get a hold of the control room, the control booth, and they actually work the door numbers, they will literally look and see which doors are popped. You know what I'm saying? And which ones aren't. You feel me? Because I don't know how it is at the institutions that some of y'all may have been to, but the institutions I've been to, picture, you know, when the guard's sitting in the, you know, the officer station, the booth, you got a quad over there, a quad right there, and a quad right there. And all they got is these colorful buttons all right here. Any door that's open over there is going to be glowing red. It's literally buttons. If you got 10 up top, 10 on the bottom, that's what they'll have right there. They'll have 10 buttons up top, 10 buttons on the bottom. Same thing in front, same thing over here. And it's for each dorm, you know, for each quad, I'll say. And the ones that are open, they glow red. You see what I'm saying? And the ones that the door's closed, it should glow green. You see? Or vice versa, depending on how it is. So if you're an inmate and you're overrunning the prison and you get in the officer station and you look and you see a couple of them shits aren't glowing the right color, that means that them doors are locked. You're going to open those and people will come after you and try to harm you. The easier the target, the better. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to be very careful when it comes to these type of situations. If a riot does occur and you're not built for it, you got to make sure you can try to protect yourself, because riots are dangerous even for people who are built like that. You see what I'm saying? My opinion is just prepare yourself like a hurricane. You know, get ready for the storm. Get ready to shackle on down, you know, and guard your shit. That's all you can really do. You feel me? But if you do have access to a knife, you might as well get the knife. Because people are going to come in there, try to hurt you, try to stab you. If the guards don't hurry up and dispute the situation that quick, no telling what can happen. You know, and the way it is that guards aren't allowed to enter certain things without inmates in handcuffs. You get what I'm saying? Like if it's the rec cage, for instance, if you're in the rec cage in confinement or in your cell, the guards are not allowed to enter your cell without you in handcuffs. So if you have a bunkie, both of y'all have to have your hands cuffed behind your back before they're allowed to enter that cell. You see what I'm saying? So if someone's in your cell, you're bunking, he's stabbing the shit out of you, them guards ain't gonna just run in there and get them off you. They're gonna gas in there. You're gonna be damn coughing and dying and sneezing and shit too. They're gonna gas both of y'all because he's stabbing you. And they're gonna hope the knife gets put down and he just lays down and surrenders. You see what I'm saying? That's how it goes inside a prison. It's not like they're gonna just run in there and get them off you. You see, it don't work like that. Maybe out in the, you know, in the bay room, you know what I'm saying, the day room area and stuff like that, yeah, but inside of a cell that's locked, they won't do it. I mean, a regular cell, yeah, but confinement, no. Same thing with the rec cage. You're not supposed to enter the cage. You're supposed to come out walking backwards with your hands cuffed behind your back. You see, they got little procedures they got to follow. You feel me? So you got to make sure you got yourself protected. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't prevent the damn riot from happening, you better be able to protect yourself when the riot comes. You see what I'm saying? Because everything causes tension to where there's riots. And when I say everything, I mean everything. You know, it can be a simple misunderstanding, a miscommunication, you know, and it will lead to something serious. And like I said, even killers get killed and hurt and have fear in them when a riot occurs. Because normally when there's a problem and there's a situation, you know who the situation's with. You get what I'm saying? If this dude doesn't like this dude and they're arguing and a fight's gonna break out, he's gonna fight him. You could just be an innocent bystander and you're watching the fight. Brr, brr, brr. They're tearing up the dorm, brr, brr, going over here. Bro pulls his knife out, swing. Next thing you know, they're over there, he's chasing him with a knife all around the dorm. You know, you're an innocent bystander. You ain't got nothing to do with that shit. And they're not even sweating you. They don't even care about the audience that's watching because it ain't got nothing to do with them. When a riot occurs, all them innocent bystanders, you're not innocent no more. When a riot occurs, people are trying to do as much as they can because they know they're getting in trouble. They know they're going to get caught. They know they're going to probably get more charges. So they're going to do all they can. They're going to swing on whoever, rob whoever, stab whoever. They're going to do all that when a riot occurs. That's why the guards try to put it out, you know, before the fire expands. You see what I'm saying? Because if that shit does overturn and it just keeps going for so long, you know, and they get over, you know, on the guards and hold the prison to where this is what it is, all inmates are in danger. Now you're either rocking like they are or your ass is deer meat. You feel me? You're either going to be the hunted, you know, or you're going to be the hunter at this type of time. You feel me? So that's why you got to be prepared when it comes to a riot. You know what I'm saying? Luckily for me, when the riots occur and shit like that goes down, I already know, I feel like someone's going to try to stab me anyways. So I make sure I got a knife. Any knife, any banger, anybody, my homeboy's knife, anybody's knife or my knife, anything closest to me, as soon as a riot sparks, I'm grabbing that shit. But I do it smart though. I grab it and I lock myself in my cell. That's it. I'm not over here trying to run and stab, beat all and catch all these new charges for no reason. You get what I'm saying? Now, if I had 15 years or better, then hey, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as running over here doing all this crazy over the edge shit, no, because I'm not an animal. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I am gonna arm myself and I'm gonna lock myself in the cell. Boom. That's it. I'm good. All these dumbasses doing this stuff on camera, they stupid. They have fun now, but this shit gonna end eventually. And when it does end, the longer it takes to end, the more charges them boys gonna have. You feel me? Me at the end of the day, I'm gonna bang that door back, but I'm in there armed. They pop that door and that shit shouldn't be on, you know, popped. And it's not a guard or something like that. Swing. You know, that boy coming out. I'm just being real with you. These are the type of things you gotta be prepared for and you gotta be ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the smartest, but I'm not no dummy. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna sit here and catch all these new charges just to do this stupid animal shit for the next 2-3 hours before they come in here and they flatline all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna fall for the okie doke like that, but I will make it to where I'm at least strapped. So if that door pops and it isn't who it's supposed to be and they come in there and they try to hurt me during this situation, the closest one to me is getting it. They might come in 4 or 5 deep, but I'll tell you what, one of them's getting this knife in them. That's how I look at it. And that's how I'm prepared if it comes to a riot. You know, now don't get me wrong now. If a riot occurred at the split of the moment and I couldn't like, you know, duck off and do what I gotta do, and I'm like in the middle of it, then it is what it is, you feel me? But any chance I get, I'm gonna try to get myself about the crowd and duck off, you feel me? I'm not locking myself in a cell without no protection, because that's just me sitting there waiting like I'm a box of baked, you know, fried chicken or baked chicken, just sitting there waiting like this for somebody to come, yeah, could just come kill me. I'm sitting over here, man, I'm not armed or nothing like that. No. While they got all this time to run around and get what they got. No, I'm not doing that. I will lock myself in there though with a banger. You see what I'm saying? That's the best I can do. But if I'm sitting there, say I'm eating or something like that, watching TV, and someone pops off on me, and then, you know, me and him start fighting and a riot occurs, you know, all I can do is watch my surroundings, beat up who the fuck just hit me, and then try to, you know, keep my back to the wall, grab a banger, boom, 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 and that's it. Duck off, bang that door. That's it. That's the best they gonna get out of me. You know what I'm saying? Now, someone trying to stab me with a knife and I'm struggling and I grab the knife from them and shit like that, you know, like, I'll take it a little farther, but I'm not gonna just go out of there because everyone else is and just try to stab, beat up people and commit as many crimes as I can in the next few hours. No, Frog ain't doing that. And I don't recommend you to do that either. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Now, if you feel like, oh, that's what you would do, then hey, it is what it is. Just make sure you got a lot of, you know, paper, pen, and stamps and envelopes, because you're going to be writing for a long time after that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. But if you're someone that's been locked up and you've went through a riot, or you've seen a riot take place, drop in the comment section, let people know what it is that you did. What was your tactic? Now, don't be coming on there in the comment section. Everybody ain't Conan, you know what I'm saying? So not everybody should say, oh, I stabbed 5 people, I did this, I ran in there and I choked this dude out and I beat this person up. You know, keep it real. You know, people want to know what it really was like, how you really did it when that situation occurred. Because a lot of people might talk that talk, but when that shit hits the fan, boy, they ain't gonna show up. You know, I'm just being real with you. But if you do find yourself locked up, try to avoid a riot as best as you can. You know, that gang shit, keep away from it, you know. If you ain't built for it, you ain't built for it. Don't try to, you know, infiltrate and try to play cool with these gang members if you truly ain't living like that, or you really don't respect their nation, you know, because a lot of people think just because they don't want problems with people, they'll play cool with people, you know. So you're playing cool with these gang members thinking that's gonna save you, but you really don't respect them or respect where they're coming from or respect their nation or what they got going on. So at the end of the day, you don't care to cross them over, you don't care to get them in trouble, tell on them, take this shit, or do you know you don't care as much because you don't really respect that person as a person. You feel me? So I feel like you should just stay clear of if you really ain't built for that, you know, or else you're gonna find yourself in harm's way and probably in the middle of a riot. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all drop in the comment section what you would do in this situation. What would you really do? Are you gonna fight if someone attacks you? Are you gonna go try to fight anybody you can? Or are you gonna, you know, play it smart and put your back against the wall and just feel it out, see how it goes? Because one thing about the chain gang nowadays, they got cameras. So your ass decides that, you know, go all crazy and shit, turn into the Tasmanian devil and start fucking running through the dorm and just start beating people up, stab people, rob people. They're gonna see all that footage. Whether it's right then and there, they might not see it for 2 weeks, but guess what? They're gonna come over there and knock on that cell, cuff up. Where you go? Oh yeah, outside court, add charge. You know, they're coming to get you. No one's gonna go unanswered. You get what I'm saying? Anybody that does that stupid shit during that riot, like you participated in a riot, best believe you are not going unanswered. They are gonna find the footage and they are gonna come back. They're gonna find each and every single inmate who swung, who didn't lock themselves in the cell, who didn't obey, who didn't do what they're supposed to do. And they're gonna come rally everybody up. Even if they gotta strip the whole fucking institution just to get everybody, you know, held accountable for their act and their parts that they played. They are gonna. You see what I'm saying? So you might as well just play that shit the smart way. Unless you're somebody with fucking 15 or better years and it is what it is. Might as well just enjoy the excitement for a couple hours. You feel me? But if you're somebody that's coming home soon, or you only got a few years, few calendars left, don't fall for the okie doke. I've seen too many people want to be cool with their homeboys and want to stand out, and when shit like this occurs, they think, oh, this is the free time to, yeah, this is the time for me to run up, stab him, stab. That ain't the time. That's just the time where you got to do it without being stopped before you did it. But now they got your ass on video. You know, you got to think. You got to think, man. They've been dealing with this shit for decades, you know, and they're going to continue to deal with it. So just know at the end of the day, you will not win. You feel me? But that's all I got for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to hit the comment section what y'all's thoughts is, or what you would do in the situation, or if you've seen something take place like a riot or a war inside a prison. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I also appreciate y'all being patient. You know, I'm a dad, so at the end of the day, when I'm looking forward to doing my videos and shit like that, you know, things happening, I get caught up, and ain't no excuse good enough. But at the end of the day, I just feel like gotta give y'all an explanation, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. And until next time, this the one and only, I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though, cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.